Do you have the gift of gab and like talking about interesting topics? Are you often called opinionated by your friends and family? Then come to Anchor where you can be all of the above and get paid for it. Along with being one of the easiest systems to create contact with, Anchor supplies everything you need and can be used from your smartphone or computer. They even distribute your content for you so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Just download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Hello, Internet family. This is Anjanette Potter, also known as Adam's Rib, and you are listening to Almost Said Eclectic Music Geek Podcast. But what you are actually listening to is 28 Days of Feminism. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and get started here, and start with my first nominee. So as I promised, in honor of the three Black women that are being considered for the Supreme Court seat, I decided to go ahead and put my and play and make these women my first three notables that I talk about this month. And like I said before, it's not just going to be notable feminists. It's also going to be issues that I feel like affect the black community and especially Black women. So the first nominee I want to talk about is J. Michelle Childs. So Juliana Michelle Childs, also known professionally as J. Michelle Childs, was born March 24, 1966, and she is a U.S. District Judge of the United States District Court for the District of South Carolina and has been serving in that role since 2010. She previously served as a state circuit court judge based in Columbiana, South Carolina. She is considered to be an expert in labor and employment law, and having participated in the compilation of the reinstatement of the law, employment law, a well-respected legal treatise that was published in 2015. She is a nominee to be a U.S. State Circuit Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. Okay. And she was appointed in the seat that she holds now in South Carolina by Barack Obama. Okay. So on January 28, 2022, the White House stated that Childs is amongst those U.S. President Joe Biden is considering for nomination to the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, Ms. Childs was born in Detroit. When she was a teen, her police officer father died. Her mother, a personnel manager for Michigan Bell Telephone, decided to move to Columbia, South Carolina, due to the rising crime in Detroit. Ms. Childs was inspired to pursue a legal career after participating in a mock trial at the University of South Florida. She graduated in 1988 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Management, cum laude, from the, or I used to say cum laude, from the University of South Florida, and graduated in 1991 with a Juris Doctor from the University of South Carolina School of Law. Childs also earned a Master of Arts degree in Personnel and Employment Relations from the University of South Carolina School of Business in 1991. In 2016, she received her LLM in Judicial Studies from Duke University School of Law. From 1991 to 2000, Childs worked in the Columbia-based law firm Nexsen Pruitt. She served as a summer associate before becoming an associate attorney from 1991 to 1999. She became the firm's first African American partner in 2000. During her time at the firm, Childs gained a reputation for being an expert in employment and labor law. After working for Nexsen Pruitt, Childs worked in the state government for 6 years. From 2000 to 2002, Ms. Childs served as the Deputy Director of the Division of Labor within the South Carolina Department of Labor. Labor licensing and regulation during the administration of Governor Jim Hodges. From 2002 to 2006, she served as a commissioner on the South Carolina Workers' Compensation Commission. Ms. Childs is also a Catholic and served as a trustee on the board of Columbia's St. Martin, de Porres Catholic School. In 2006, she was elected by the South Carolina General Assembly to become Richland County Circuit Judge based in Columbia. During her time as a state judge, she helmed a special business business court pilot and became chief judge for General Sessions South Carolina Criminal Court. Okay, and now we're going to talk about her federal judicial service. So, on December 22nd, 2009, President Barack Obama nominated Ms. Childs to serve on the U.S. State's District Court for the District of South Carolina to fill the seat vacated by Judge G. Ross Anderson, who had taken senior status. Her nomination was confirmed by the U.S. Senate on August 5th, 2010. She received her commission on August 20th, 2010. Ms. Childs was elected to the American Law Institute in 2010 and served as an advisor on the Reinstatement Third Employment Law, a decade-long project that was published as an official text in early 2015. She also served on an ALI regional advisory group, helped identify and recommend new members in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. In 2020, Ms. Childs was elected chair of the Judicial Division of the American Bar Association. In February 2021, Ms. Childs was promoted as a potential Supreme Court nominee under the Biden administration by Jim Clyburn, an influential congressman from her home state of South Carolina. That same month, she appointed what was hailed as the most diverse multi-district litigation team in the nation's history in a case involving a data breach at Blackbaud. So now we're going to talk about some cases that she was over. And so while we're talking, while I'm discussing this, first of all, as you can see, she has a very impressive record. I'm going to also talk about some cases that she was over. So as always, all information that is being used on these podcasts is coming through Wikipedia. So if you want to do further research and go into the articles about each of these nominees, because the first 3 podcasts are going to be dedicated to them. I thought about combining them in one, and then I was like, no, like each of these women, like I am proud of them. First of all, when I hear about stuff like this, it makes me proud as a woman and proud as a Black person. Like I said, I love myself Black and I love other Black people. That ain't never gonna change. And so it makes me feel good when I see, when I was younger, we were always taught to be proud when you see a Black person accomplishing things. Yeah, I recognize that there's a lot of classism within our community. I'm going to talk this month about colorism and classism as well, because I think that you heal a lot better when you come at the issue full blown and go on and confront it. So back to our honoree. So some cases that Miss Childs were over. In November 2014, Childs ruled in favor of 2 women who sued to have the state recognize their marriage performed in Washington, D.C., finding South Carolina's failure to recognize their marriage to be unconstitutional. So I'm guessing, so if you look at the citation, the first gay marriage license were issued in South Carolina, but she was responsible for the first gay marriage license issued in South Carolina. And this is courtesy of the Tampa Bay Times and the Associated Press. In September of 2020, Ms. Childs granted a preliminary injunction that blocked South Carolina's absentee ballot witness requirement. A United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit panel initially blocked the injunction granted by Childs, but the full appeals court reinstated it during an en banc session. So en banc in law, an en banc session, which is French for en bench, is a session in which a case is heard before all the judges of a court, before the entire bench, rather than just one judge or a smaller panel of judge. En banc review is used for unusually complex or important cases when the court feels there is a particularly significant issue at stake. Okay. Ultimately, the injunction was struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court. Ms. Childs has made 2 decisions related to nuclear reactor facilities in South Carolina. First, in August 2018, Childs refused to enjoin a state law that forced the state utility to cut its customers' rates after the failed construction of 2 new nuclear reactors in Fairfield County. Second, in December 2021, Ms. Childs rejected a request to enjoin a vaccine mandate from workers at a South Carolina nuclear facility. Childs ruled that the company did not have to continue employing someone who refused to get vaccinated. I'm here to tell you now, The last job I was at, and so this was courtesy of Colin Demarest. Federal judge refuses to block vaccine mandate at Savannah Riverside. This is becoming a very polarizing issue, and it's getting to the point where many companies anymore are starting to require people offer proof that they've been vaccinated. So if you got vaccinated, make sure that you hang on to your card. If you got the first 2 vaccines, which is what is basically required to prove that you're fully vaccinated, hold on to those cards, because I'm here to tell you now, those cards are going to be a lifesaver for you, because they're getting to the point. I feel like eventually they're going to get to the point where those vaccines are going to be mandated. I don't know. I don't see no other way around it. Because when you don't mandate them, then there's every possibility that the virus just continues to keep. And I looked at a thing on YouTube where they talked about the whole anti-vax movement. It's Dr. Todd. Let me see here. What is Dr. Todd's last name? And if you're wondering, yes, I am setting Dr. Todd Grandy. So I look at him. He's a licensed psychiatrist, and he talks about the psychological or psychiatric bent on different cases. And he gives some. I don't always agree with his opinion, but he gives some pretty good insight on the psychological ramifications of certain issues and certain cases. Many people will write in to ask his opinion for things. And so he gave a good history on the whole anti-vax movement. And it's not a recent movement. It actually goes back to the people who are anti-school vaccines. So if you don't know, school vaccines, and there has been some controversy. Several celebrities have come forward and been anti-vaxxer with the school vaccines, the vaccines that are required for your kids to get, like when you go for your well baby checkups, and they tell you that it's time for the kids to get vaccinated. Those vaccines are required for your kids to begin kindergarten. At least I know they are here in Ohio, and I think it may be national. So the reason why he talked about the reason, vaccines become mandatory. And one of the reasons is to keep down, being mandatory keeps down the possible spread of a disease, such as in the ones that we have that are required now. Before, pre-pandemic, were like the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines that we had to take. And I think the first one was oral, and then after a while they give your baby that nice little shot in the leg and send them home crying and weeping and feverish. And so I can remember when I got my vaccine before, early on, and I'm like, they're nicer to the kids than they were when I was little, because when we were younger, we had scars to prove that we had been vaccinated. But basically, you have to keep a record or whatever, and then the school asks for a record of the vaccines, and your doctor gives them to you or whatever. So the anti-vax movement goes back very, very far. Now we have the new anti-vax movement, which is people who, for religious reasons, and I'm like, okay, but I don't know, who are now not wanting to get vaxxed because they feel like it's a violation of their rights. I'm not sure what rights they think that, like I said, being black like I said, love myself black, love other black people. I tend to empathize a little bit more with the black community on not wanting to get vaxxed, simply because of the fear that they might be experimenting on us. And I understand. But at the same time, you have to pray about this situation. They are getting to the point where, like I said, they're probably going to require you to be vaxxed in order to work, in order to hold down a job or whatever, and it's one of the reasons why many remote jobs are becoming available anymore. So we just have to pray and watch and pray. So, nomination to the DC Court of Appeals and potential nomination to the Supreme Court. So, in January 2021, Clyburn sent a letter to President Biden's transition team, encouraging Biden to nominate Childs to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the DC Circuit. On December 23rd, 2021, Biden announced Childs as his nominee for that court, and her nomination was sent to the Senate on January 10th. Her nomination is pending before the Senate Judiciary Committee. The seat has been vacated by Judge David Tatel, who will assume senior status upon confirmation of a successor. On January 28, 2022, the White House stated that Childs is amongst those being considered for nomination to the U.S. Supreme Court to fill the seat that will be left vacant after Justice Stephen Breyer's retirement. 2 days later, one of her home state U.S. senators, Lindsey Graham, voiced his support for her potential nomination. I'll tell you what, I'm very... and that news is courtesy of The Guardian in out of the United Kingdom, July 30th, 2022. And it talks about Supreme Court contender J. Michelle Childs praised by Trump ally Lindsey Graham. I don't know, that might count against her with quite a few people. So this is the first of one of our honorees that I want to talk about. Yes, because she's black. Yes, because she's female. Yes, because let me see here. What does it say here? It doesn't talk about her party affiliations. She is 55, like myself. She is married. She has her BA out of the University of South Florida. She has an MA. What is JD? Okay, Juris Doctorate, which is a law designation, which is also called the Doctor of Law or Doctor of Jurisprudence, out of South Carolina. And she has an LLM out of Duke University. So the LLM is a Master's of Law, and is an advanced postgraduate academic degree pursued by those either holding an undergraduate academic law degree, a professional law degree, or an undergrad degree in a related subject. In most jurisdictions, the Master of Laws is the advanced professional degree for those already admitted into legal practice. So, Adams Rib Media Ministries, AnjanetteSpeak, we congratulate Miss Michelle Childs. We congratulate Mrs. Childs, and as well as the other two nominees. We appreciate your hard work, and we prayerfully consider you and the two other women. I will be doing, after I'm done with this podcast, I will be doing the next nominee. So we congratulate all three of you. I'll probably be congratulating the other two when I get done with the other two podcasts. So those of you who are following her anywhere on social media, Congratulate her, show her your love and your appreciation for her hard work, and prayers that she represent us, which I'm sure she is. And we give you all of our love. We give you all of our love and our congratulations and all of our blessed goodwill. Hello, you have reached the message line for Adams Rib Media Ministry. If you would like to give me a shout out, recommend some topics for discussion, or give an opinion about some topics that I've already discussed, either here on my podcast or on my blogs, leave me a message and I will get right back to you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.